Every single sport has that guy. You know who I mean. The guy who just can't control their emotions. The guy who flips out on his opponents or even spectators.
Son of a bitch, Paul, why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
These guys are passionate, they're also incredibly talented, but they just can't seem to keep their emotions in check. They wear their heart on their sleeves and they aren't afraid to let people know that they think they're the best. These are the guys that people love to hate, but they are also an incredibly good thing for any sport. Because this type of player is so volatile, you never quite know what they will do next. This makes for extremely exciting viewing. So today, we're going to look at a few different sports and take a little look at these big personalities that always manage to create such a talking point. Let's start with tennis and take a look at John McEnroe. John McEnroe is quite possibly one of the greatest tennis players of all time. He has so many impressive achievements to his name. For example, McEnroe is the only male player in tennis history to hold the world #1 ranking in both singles and doubles simultaneously. McEnroe also finished his career with 77 singles titles on the ATP Tour and 78 doubles titles. This remains the highest men's combined total of the Open era. And he's the only male player to win more than 70 titles in both men's singles and doubles. He also won 25 singles titles on the ATP Champions Tour. On top of this, he won 7 Grand Slam singles titles, which included 4 US Opens and 3 Wimbledon titles, and 9 Grand Slam men's doubles titles. But leaving all this aside, when people think of McEnroe, they don't necessarily think about his skill. The first thing they would think of are his antics on the court. He was not afraid to express his emotions, and his outbursts and arguments with the umpires were extremely entertaining viewing.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line! Chalk flew up! Mistakes whatsoever.
Seconds up, please.
Answer my question! The question, jerk!
Although many would call McEnroe a complainer, he was fascinating to watch, and millions of people obviously felt the same. He was great for the game of tennis, as you could almost see the passion oozing from him with every shot he played. His outbursts were well known by now, and his famous catchphrase, "You cannot be serious," swept the world during the time he was at his peak.
Don't slurp your orange juice.
What did you say?
I've told you before not to slurp your orange juice.
You cannot be serious! You cannot be serious! I did not slurp my orange juice! I did not slurp my drink! Did I slurp my drink? Did you hear a sound? Did you hear a sound? Tell me! Jesus Christ, woman! You cannot be serious!
Next up we have Pete Weber. Over to bowling now, where we meet this guy. For those of you watching who might be unfamiliar with Pete Weber or bowling, he is known as the bad boy of bowling, and always used to wear his trademark sunglasses while bowling on TV. His persona was inspired by wrestling, and he would regularly break out his crotch chop as a celebration when getting a strike. But he was probably best known for his many outbursts on TV over the years. His most infamous outburst came at the 2012 US Open, when what appeared to be a young 13-year-old fan was rooting against Pete. Pete was not happy and kept trading verbal blows with the fan throughout the show.
Please stop moving while I'm on my approach. That's all I ask. I said, would you please stop moving in my approach? Just sit still.
Somebody in the stands is what he's talking to. Somebody moving.
3 times now.
Well, you know,
Move again, I want to move.
is the word that I would use now.
Move again.
All day, that
Really?
10.
Do that again.
Got it.
It's called sportsmanship, pal.
Then, when Pete went on to win the title, this happened.
Who do you think you are? I am!
Overall, this sort of outburst was pretty common for Weber, and he was never afraid to express his emotions and get in people's faces. But Pete really was one of the best bowlers in the game. He ended his career with 37 PBA Tour titles, including 10 majors too. And he is still the only player in PBA history to win 5 US Open titles. So you can see it wasn't just Weber's outbursts that he's best known for. He was actually an incredible bowler and up there with the greatest of all time. He certainly managed to revitalise bowling on TV during a time that bowling was struggling somewhat to gain the sort of viewership that it once had. Although it has to be said that the way Pete behaved on the lanes, well, some people loved it, but he certainly created a large amount of people who perhaps weren't his biggest fans, who didn't like his outbursts, and there were many that felt that he wasn't particularly good for the game. But whether you loved him or hated him, at the end of the day, we will all now remember him for one thing.
Who do you think you are? I am!
Earl Strickland. Earl Strickland is a legend in pool, and he actually has quite a few similarities with not only the other players on this list, but Pete Weber in particular. And once again, just like with these other players, Earl is up there with the greats. But what sets Earl apart is his unpredictable attitude. If he misses a shot, well, there's a good chance he'll smash his cue just like this. Earl isn't afraid of confrontation either. He's been known on many occasions to get into heated arguments with referees, his opponents, and the crowd too. Earl's volatile nature combined with his incredible talent makes him so fascinating to watch. And although he may have crossed the line occasionally, this is what makes him so appealing to his many fans. But once again, Strickland is able to back up the way he presents himself, his volatile nature, because of just how incredible his talent is. He's considered to be one of the best 9-ball players of all time, and he's actually won over 100 championship titles and 3 world titles. So whatever you think about Earl and the way he behaves, you can't deny that he is up there with probably the greatest players in pool of all time. And now we move on to Phil Hellmuth. Phil Hellmuth is nicknamed the Poker Brat and is famous for his huge meltdowns whenever he loses a hand.
Levy with the Queen 10 and the win.
Called a race with the 10 of clubs. He called a race with Queen 10, honey.
I know, honey. He's some online guy.
I had a set. He's supposed to bust me anyway. Called a race with a Queen 10. Idiot player.
Actually, he doesn't look like an idiot player, and I don't think he did anything wrong that hand.
This was bound to happen sooner or later.
He called a race with Queen 10. How do these players, how are they even still in this tournament?
They let him in every day.
And I have a set.
I know you had a set, Puddin'.
It's just unbelievable. This kid probably won't last another hour.
Half hour tops.
I promise. Watch. He called a race with a queen and a 10. Idiot players call races with Queen 10. They don't even know how to spell poker. I mean, like, this kid has all the chips. He probably won't even make the final 200.
He berates other players for what he considers to be bad poker play and always seems to feel hard done by and that the poker gods are against him. Hellmuth seems to genuinely believe that he is the best poker player in the world right now. It's a running joke that he's never won a hand on YouTube, as if you search his name, all you will find is clips of him losing. But the funny thing is, he actually is in the conversation for the greatest of all time, as he's won the most World Series of Poker bracelets of all time. And while many fans will have their opinions, you can't deny that Hellmuth is up there with the best of all time, certainly as a tournament player. The problem many people have is that he's not only unable to lose with grace, but he doesn't particularly win with grace either. But whether you love or hate him, it makes for fantastic viewing, and some of his rants never fail to make me laugh.
Called me with it. He called Phil with it.
This is how I lose my money to some idiot.
I show ace king and balls.
He's now said idiot 2 times too many.
I'm going to tell you something, buddy. You want to hear what I have to say? This is
No, after you learn some manners, yes.
Forget it. Forget it.
Before that, whatever.
Well done, Christian.
Buddy, you're an idiot, is what you are.
That's 3 times.
This is the state of
Yeah,
poker.
but I'm an idiot with a stack. you don't have a stack. Whatever.
Someone puts in
Just
$400,000 with 10-4 and the crowd celebrates like it's a good play. This is the state of poker. The guy is the worst player in history, and they're cheering. You are an idiot.
4 times.
Did you see what this idiot just did?
5.
Man.
He played
man,
with a 10-4, Mike.
I had enough of that. This is the 10th time. You are an idiot. Come on, what is this?
Dragomir fighting back.
What is the 10th time? What is this?
I apologize, but I don't like the way you play poker.
So there we have some of the biggest personalities in a number of sports, and I hope you can see the similarities. All of these guys have very similar personalities in the way they act in the heat of competition. But what's interesting to me is that although when these players are discussed, the main focus is on their volatile temperament, the fact is all of these guys are world-class talents. What's more, I'd say that pretty much all of the players in this video are in the conversation for greatest of all time in their respective sports. This is what makes them so dominant in many cases, because they're able to express their volatile and their in-your-face personalities, while at the same time backing this up with their extreme talent. So please let me know in the comment section below your thoughts. Do you think these kind of players are good for the game? Do you enjoy watching guys like Pete Weber, John McEnroe, or do you feel like that perhaps they're not your cup of tea? Please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, if you have enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, and see you all next time.